have this kind of strange situation where there is inflation in the UK and there's inflation in Asia and there's a bit more inflation in Europe, even in the US at the moment. And central banks are inclined to say, yeah, this is all imported inflation and therefore it doesn't count. But I think the underlying direction is probably upwards, and we need to be alert to the changes that will make to the overall investment environment.
I don't like bonds, which is the main reason I'm going to talk about here, and there are two reasons I don't like them. On a standalone basis, with inflation where it is, I think they offer very poor value. And the second is, with the sovereign debt issues, I question whether many countries now have the ability to effectively repay the money that we expect.
One of the biggest issues that we're going to face, I think, as a group and industry is how do we protect our clients' money from the ravages of inflation going forward. Hard-earned savings which have been done over 20, 30 years could be a serious threat in the next decade. And in order to do that, we're going to need absolutely every tool at our disposal. And for me, as a bond manager, it's currencies, it's corporate bonds, it's being able to buy and sell government bonds and benefit at times when bond yields are rising and prices are falling. I'm going to need everything I can possibly get.
We know that the UK government's balance sheet is in poor shape. We know that the UK consumer's balance sheet is in poor shape. But actually, UK PLC, certainly in the quoted arena, is in very good shape indeed.
We don't bother with market outlooks. All we're really interested in is individual stocks. Do we think the stocks in our portfolio are significantly undervalued? We buy shares because they're unloved, and as long as we get unloved opportunities, we think we've got a decent chance of outperforming.
I want to talk to you about agriculture. It's very often in the news, and very often it's very negative. Cucumbers, sprouts, diseases, anything, food prices going higher. But there's also a very good side to it. Agricultural equity is hot because of the commodities that came down in the beginning of this year, which dragged down equities with them. And as a result, agricultural equity shares are now very cheap, while the fundamentals are very, very good.
Gert van der Geer from Pictet, absolutely excellent, because I'm interested in commodities, but I think my clients have got a lot of holdings already in mining stocks just through the FTSE. Now, the agricultural fund, that's completely different. So it gives a very good diversification.
I found the event very interesting, very informative. It's great to get the views on all the different speakers, not just the equity fund managers, but also the people from Pinsent who was on about the